Luffy's journey to become a pirate king has never been framed like one man that does everything. The further One Piece goes, the more you understand that the creator have built an entire support system for the captain. And something that I never expected is that the center of this support system is Zoro and Sanji. At the start, I thought that they are just two fools, that they are the comedic rivals for the anime. The light arguments, the constant insults, the competition over who contributes more to the team. But underneath, Oda is doing something much more deliberate for them. Zoro and Sanji, ironically, are functioning as two halves of the same coin. But the interesting part is that it is built on completely different instincts and completely different worldviews. And this is the part that you can start learning about who you are and how you can use that. Zoro is being introduced as discipline plus directness, and Sanji operates through emotion, adaptability, and protection. You can already see the parallels and how different yet similar they are. This is flexible, this is the exact opposite, unflexible. And together they create the balance that allows Luffy to be who he is. And the question is, what are you? If you have to choose on a false dichotomy between these two, what most makes sense for you? Is it that you are more disciplined and you don't like to have emotions, or you're more emotional and you love to go with the flow? This completely changes your worldview. You interact through life, but also what people will be around you. This is the part of the dynamic that I see most often being lost when we are confusing these characters as just comedic relief, and we just see their differences on a superficial level. And you need to see that Oda on purpose never saw power scaling and who is better at something. On purpose is using comedy to never compare the two. It's interesting. If you notice and you rewatch this show with this mindset, you start seeing that it is not as much as a comedy act for the rivalry, but it is more as a balancing act to be able to keep the crew together. And there is a point that we start calling them as the wings of the Pirate King. And the reason that this metaphor makes so much sense is because the wings needs literally both wings to be balanced out and for you to be able to fly. One important thing is that this is a part of a series. You can find it on the description. This is the 4th episode. And on this series, we break down anime mindset and how this can change your life in order to become the best version of yourself. Also, if this makes sense for you, like this video because the algorithm is brutal. Let's see where everything begins, which is the people that raised them. And while we do that, I want you to be thinking about yourself and how the people that raised you made you to be left or right, unflexible or flexible. Zoro represents the idea of what a swordsman should be. This is through discipline, direction, and unflexibility. From the moment he introduced, he knows exactly what he wants. He has a singular focus. And I want you to ask yourself if this is you. Do you have a direction in life and a reason that you do every one of your actions, or you more flow with the wind? One thing that is very interesting is that he doesn't grow through internal conflict. Most characters grow through that, but for Zoro, he has such a specific direction in life that internally he doesn't really change this through the show. You need to see that every one of his actions and every one of the challenges, they push him down the road that he becomes more and more rigid on his philosophy. He doesn't really change that much. And this is the part that I want you to see if this is who you are. Are you someone that you are obsessed with your direction and doesn't really want to change? Or you're someone that wants to flow and wants to grow? You can see that Sanji is actually constantly grow, which is a characteristic of a flexible mindset and a flexible character. If you notice his childhood, his emotions are treated as weakness. He had his saviors that they show them that emotions are something to be embraced, and he grew up on an environment that you need to feed people no matter who they are. You see that with Sanji, it is so psychologically rich, the development that he has, because he's constantly struggling between the life that he started, which is emotions is something to be afraid of, and the life that he embraced, which is that emotion is something beautiful and you need to love everyone for who they are. You can see that even when he becomes more powerful, he's actually constantly afraid that he will lose the humanity that he has through his emotional flexibility. I don't want to go too deep. This is just an MVP on this discussion for you to start thinking what you are. I want you to comment down below if you see yourself as Zoro or as Sanji. And I want you to like this video if you stay that long. Go here. This is a series of videos that analyzes anime mindset, and it will have a huge impact on the way that you live life. But at the same time, it's kind of fun because it's anime.